Hey everyone, a nerd named Mark here, and it's time to go over episode 30 of Kamen Rider Geats. I can't believe we're at episode 30 already. This seems like such a long show. And finally, like, we're at the point where that lull that was going on seems to be over. The last episode was really good. This one was even better. I think we're on the upward swing in the show getting back on pace. I didn't hate the Gene stuff from before, but those three episodes kind of like felt like a lull. But man, this episode, shit. Like, we got so much stuff, and then right when you think okay, time for the preview. Now let's sprinkle some more revelations in there really quick for you. And I'm like, and it didn't feel out of place. Like, so good. This episode, like, we picked up right where we left off. Ace just freaking savagely beating the Jamato. So he hits the finish kick and launches a Jamato at the little upper seating area where Baroba was. You know, and now because Ace won, we're getting the final round, which is going to be Nan and Michinaga. And even Buffa's just like, have your fun. He's not playing along anymore. And I was like, okay. And after he says that, he's glaring at Geats because he wanted that 1v1 final round, him versus Geats, finally, just to prove that he is better. Because that's the whole entire thing this whole entire time. He wants to just beat Geats, like, one-on-one, even playing field, just to show he's better. And I was like, okay, I dig that seed is still there. And I'm hoping it's going to pay off. It's going to happen, obviously, at some point. We're good. Because, like, earlier on episodes, we got some Buffa and Geats fighting, but it wasn't full-fledged, like, here we go. Like, mano a mano, no, just fighting it out. So, following up all the stuff with Nan realizing, the revelation that she's not really their daughter. She goes and confronts her mom about it and about the truth. And even the mom's just like, what are you talking about? And then she makes her mom touch that E chord. Everything comes back to her. And even she's like, that's right. Akari is my daughter. Like, what are you? Who are you? And I'm like, damn, they're definitely hitting all them feels and all these emotions. Like, this is a good episode. We even get more of the reasoning in detail from the dad when Kyun confronts him. We find out Akari dying during the kidnapping also killed any love that he had left in him, which is why, when he was in previous episodes talking to Niram, he can't love Nan, and then we even see in the flashback, Nan even offered, he could revive her. And he even said he'd live with the memory of her first death burnt into his memory, and he couldn't do that. And then, he has that epiphany in his head. He could just create a new ideal daughter to further the Kurama conglomerate. And I was just like, he just went from I went from feeling sympathy for him as a father who lost his daughter to like, all right, you're kind of a dick. Like, you're not full-fledged dick. You're like 65% on the dickness scale. And the reason why it's not 100% is because, you got that sympathy for him, like, he lost his daughter, but then at the same time, it's like, you found this as a business opportunity. Man, like, Neon's story arc right now, and the actress and everyone, like, even Time Fire and, the mom, this, that, all even Kyun, their acting when it came to, like, emotions and all these scenes was so damn good. We even seen Nan leaving, and the mom tries to stop her. She's like, I'm not running away. This isn't even my home anyways. And I'm like, damn. I was like, ooh, even I'm watching this episode, I'm like, man, I'm this Kamen Rider right now. This is getting like the whole, when you look at the first 16 episodes, then you look at the middle section with the disaster, then you look at the beginning of the Jamato Grand Prix to now, it's like, okay, all right, we're here now. And, the whole entire time, because of the whole DGP stuff, the dad's whole plan this whole entire time, which we already kind of knew because it was brought up when he was talking at the little grabbing a drink with Kyun, and he's like, get someone for future to marry Nan to further the business. And like I said, I was like, okay, he's just reiterating that. And I'm like, all right. I mean, and all these people who knew about it, like, Shiromi knew about it, but Sumari didn't. And I was like, And I was like, how? But then we get a revelation about the Desire Driver later on, which I was like, all right, we're getting there. This is the way the supporters should be featured in the episodes. The Gene stuff was so like took the air out of the room, so to speak, because we get Ace and Kyun interacting, and even he's just like, you're being more of a, basically you're being a spectator more than a supporter. And Kyun like is conflicted because he writes on paper, because when he talks to her, he says the exact opposite of what he feels. And I was like, all right, like but you gotta give us something. Like, come on, like, yeah, we get it, but it's like seeing Ace kind of like defend everything, and I think like there's that parallels between the two. Like he keeps getting reincarnated over and over again, and the wishes have something to do with it. Neon being someone who came from a wish, wondering what they're gonna do to Kawa. I feel whatever they're gonna do to Kawa, he's gonna be put through it, and I'm gonna feel for that kid. Okay, and so we get in a lot of like, I don't know if it's like because he cares about her, there's like that protective nature, friendship building, if it's something more, because I still would think it would be great in the end to see Nan and Kawa together. That would be great. That would, I don't ship, but that would be my ship. um and yeah, we get, so we find out Buffa's not actually going to be in the final round. We get the weird water shark monster like Jamato, which I'm like, all right, because when Ace goes to outside like the little entranceway and he can't get in, and Buffa's there, and he even says, you're just like Baroba, with everything on. He's like, I'm nothing like her. And through their conversation, we found out Michinaga's true goal. It's not the Toru stuff, is like was kind of there, but that's not his true, motivating. Like, that's the motivation, but that's not just the reasoning, because we find out that none of this would have happened. The Nan stuff, Ace, none of this would have happened if the DGP wasn't here. So that's his goal, is to destroy the Kamen Rider, but not just that. He wants to take down the DGP completely. So the whole final fight was just like, Nan just getting the break speed off of her. We see, at one point we see flashes where she's smiling and happy and this and that, and she transforms, gets her ass kicked some more, dehensions, and she's sitting there. She's like, I've had it. I've had enough. And Jamato goes in for the final attack, and Kyun shows up and makes the save, and his cool little like gun thing puts like a little ring around the Jamato. This was one of the best parts of the episode. We finally, Kyun says his entire existence was fabricated just like Nan's, and he pulls out this big letter. I'm not gonna go over the whole letter out, but basically he's saying like in the future, their whole future is designed by themselves and their whims, and they indulge in idealized worlds. Basically, you think they were happy, but that's not the case. He says, watching everything that's happened has like, all her suffering and everything stirred a pain inside of him, which he hasn't felt. And he's been trying to find and struggle with what to say. And as he's about to say, he's no longer has the right to call himself a supporter, and he's about to basically, give up being a supporter, he tears the letter up, and he says, your happiness isn't decided by the circumstances of your birth. It's something you have to grasp yourself. And I was like, oh, hitting us with those nice little motivation and moral stuff. I was like, yeah. And then he goes back and says the line that was said in an earlier letter, and we even get the flashback where he says the entire world shall turn against you, but he will remain Nan's ally. And I was like, yeah. And then he henches into his little, lion sphinx thingy, and even at the same time, Jamato are trying to break in because, Baroba's not happy about this. Ace hits the laser boost. He's like, nah, you're not getting in there. I'm going to stop you. And then I don't know what it is. Kyun gives Nan the boost buckle. What the hell is this boost buckle? Why is it always a big deal? Why is it a thing? And also, fun fact, the boost buckle did not go after Kawa this time. Maybe that feud is over. maybe we're done seeing the boost buckle single out and target Kawa every time it's used. So I'm happy about that. And we get some awesome 2v1s, Nan and Kyun just fighting the Jamato. A lot of thumbnail bait between that and Ace fighting the Jamato. I was like, ooh, thumbnail, 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 thumbnail bait. And I was like, yeah, not going to use any of those. Obviously, Nan wins. Wins. Everyone's all happy. Kay was free, and he's like, let's go home. And Nan's like, smiling. And even while she's smiling, she's like, I don't have a home to go to. And I was like, damn. Like, and you think that was the end of it. You think that's how, end like that. They walk off winning the round. But this is obviously not the case because we get some more seeds. Archimedel's sitting there with with a Jamato on a table in his little archaeological dig site, and he's like flipping out, throwing water. He's like, don't close your eyes. Like, basically, don't go in the light and this and that. And he's like, and he grabs like a knife because he has a revelation. He's like, I'm going to give you some special fertilizer. And he's looking at his hand and holding his big knife. And I'm like, what the hell is this man cooking? Like, are we going to get an episode where we get some Archimedal like backstory? Because I need to know more about him because he is batshit crazy and I like him. And I was like, okay, this would be a great point to just fade into the preview for next episode. No, they're like, oh, no. Let's give you some more stuff. You want some more information? Oh, yeah, we revealed Michinaga's true goal and, all the Neon stuff last episode of this episode. But let's give you another nugget because, Daichi, Michinaga, and Baroba are sitting around. Michinaga's finally like, I'm done with you. Like, this is it. I'm done. Like, he starts walking away. And Baroba's like, no, wait, hold on. Don't do this. Don't think brashly. What if I told you Geats' weakness? And I'm like, oh, you're going to give us Geats. Geats weak. Okay. Now, even I'm just like, tell me more. Does it have to do with mom? And it does. We find out that the desire driver, the vision driver has all the memories of what past game masters have seen. So they, she puts the belt on Buffa and they all get teleported to the nice little area where the Goddess of Creation is. But we see all these other dudes in the GM masks and cloaks and robes surrounding a woman. And we find out it's Mitsume. And they are talking about how, you can grant people's desires and wishes. And we see that she gets actually transformed into the Goddess of Creation. And flat out, it is said, the Goddess of Creation is Ace's mother. And I'm like, well, okay, I don't theorize, as you know, but a lot of people in the comments, we have all talked with other people, that. This has been a running theory for quite some time since the mom, our issue like that started with Ace. So now that it's confirmed, I'm like, okay. I mean, it makes sense. When you look at everything on the table over the last 30 episodes, there's like maybe one or two other ways they could have went the route of Ace's mother, but this is the one that makes the most sense. And sometimes the easy plot point that makes the most sense is the best choice to go with. And you don't always need these overly deep and outlandish, story like plot points. So I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, this episode, this is good. I'm back on the Geats hype train. Like, I'm looking forward to the next episode. I'm looking forward to everything going forward. And I'm really looking forward to what they're going to do with Kawa. Because Kawa needs his arc now with his supporter. And then we could find out who the hell is eating the oranges in Kekura's little freaking supporter pocket dimension. Okay, there's a bowl of oranges there when we got introduced to him. There's no bowl of oranges at some scenes. Like, who? Like, he's a freaking frog statue. How is he eating oranges? And if he's from the future and he's eating oranges, how do we know he can have the citric acid? Okay, as someone, when I eat oranges, this and that, I get a stomachache. I can't have a lot of citric acid. Limes, lemons, grapefruit, oranges. So I'm just like, is this frog downing a whole bunch of freaking oranges? And they're mandarin oranges too. Those are juicy. Those are flavorful. I wish I could eat a whole entire bowl of those, but I need to know. But that's it. I'm digress. I'm sorry. I'm going on a rant. No one else is talking about these oranges, where they're coming, like, and why is he a freaking statue, by the way? That's another thing. So, that's it. That's it for the review. By the way, if you haven't already, go over to onlyhenshins.com. You can pick yourself up this nice Nago Beats shirt, which is based off of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I got some other Toku merch there. The spring summer line is coming soon. Working on a lot of stuff, cooking real good right now. That being said, I thank you guys for watching. Don't forget the subscribe button. I'm almost at 1,000. I think I'm like 45 subscribers away or so, which would be awesome to hit 1,000. But that being said, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.